Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Saturday, April 30th, 2016, around 6:24 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. Gonna be a sunny day out today, starting a little chilly, but it's gonna warm up to about 60 degrees. This is the pick of the weekend, and tomorrow afternoon gonna start raining, and all next week we are gonna be in and out of a rainy pattern, meaning that it's gonna rain on and off. We usually get this in May. The average first 80-degree day in Boston is May 4th. Boston or any of the areas will not reach 80 degrees on May 4th this year. So it'll be a little while. Some news to report. Boston Red Sox beat the New York Yankees by a score of 4-2 last night. Also in the NBA playoffs, the Trailblazers eliminated the Clippers. The Clippers clipped out of the playoffs again, but they lost their best players, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin, and the Pacers and the Raptors. Pacers and the Heat forced a Game 7. Should be very interesting how those series play out. The Pacers against the Raptors, and the Heat and the Hornets. And tonight starts round 2 of the NBA's playoffs. It will be the Spurs against the Thunder, 8 p.m. on TNT. Marv Albert's calling the game, and watch Inside the NBA on TNT afterwards with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. In the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, the Dallas Stars and the San Jose Sharks are up 1-0 in this series, and a playoff doubleheader on NBC Sports today, 3 p.m. Game 2 of the second round of the Eastern Conference playoffs sees the Islanders against Tampa Bay Lightning, and at 8 p.m. the Pittsburgh Penguins against the Washington Capitals. And Luke Walton is now new head coach of the LA Lakers, and it's Happy National Hairstyle Appreciation Day in the United States. And that's about it on news. My first video blog subject of the day is the continuation of the top 10 list of everything and anything. I've now reached the top 10 best hockey arenas of all time. Most of these arenas I'm going to mention are no longer in existence. Only one on this list is still open, and here they are. Number 10 on this list of the best hockey arenas of all time, Les Colisées in Quebec. The Lake Colisée was open for many, many years. The Quebec Nordiques used to play there. It was a small arena, but it was like the crowd was always cheering the Nordiques, especially when they had the rivalry with the Montreal Canadiens. I hope when the new arena in Quebec City gets an NHL team, the rivalry of the Canadiens and the Nordiques will be revived. Number 9 on this list of the top 10 best NHL hockey arenas of all time, Mellon Arena, which was open 42 years between 1967 and 2010. It was home to the Penguins, and they had 3 Stanley Cup winning teams there. It was kind of like a very small arena. It was actually a dome arena, and Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr and little Kenny Malkin and Sidney Crosby spent some time there. It was a good arena. Number 8 on this list of the greatest hockey arenas of all time, the Spectrum in Philadelphia, which was open from 1967 to 1996 for the Flyers playing there. It was a very great arena. Flyers won back-to-back Stanley Cups in 1974 and 1975. Famous for Kate Smith singing God Bless America, which got the Spectrum crowd riled up. Number 7 on this list of the best hockey arenas of all time, the Odd in Buffalo, the Buffalo Memorial Auditorium. It was a very small arena, but it would be packed for Sabres games, and it was infamous for 1975 when the Sabres won the Stanley Cup Finals against the Philadelphia Flyers. Fog formed on the ice because outside the temperature in Buffalo that day was well over 80 degrees and hot and humid, which was unusual for May, and it caused delays. Number 6 on this list of the greatest hockey arenas of all time, the Detroit Olympia, which was open from 1930 to 1979. The Red Wings played there for many years. It was a great arena. Gordie Howe played most of his career at Olympia, and they were home to several Stanley Cups. Number 5 on this list of the best hockey arenas of all time, Chicago Stadium in Chicago, Illinois, longtime home of the Chicago Blackhawks. It was a little bit of smaller rink size, but it was very, very awesome, and like the crowd was enthusiastic for Blackhawks games. Number 4 on this list of the greatest hockey arenas of all time, Maple Leafs Garden, longtime home of the Toronto Maple Leafs for over 60 years. The Maple Leafs won many Stanley Cups there. Some great hockey games were played in the Maple Leafs Garden. A lot of rivalries between the Canadiens and the Maple Leafs. Many Stanley Cups were won there, and it closed down in 1999. Number 3 on this list of the best hockey arenas of all time, Madison Square Garden, the current Madison Square Garden, which has been open since 1968. New York Rangers play there. Always a great experience. People going to Madison Square Garden. Its best hockey moment is when the New York Rangers finally won the Stanley Cup after 54 long years in 1994. Dr. Thomas Sharkey's a New York Rangers fan. Number 2 on this list of the best hockey arenas of all time, the Montreal Forum. The Montreal Forum was open for over 60 years. The Montreal Forum witnessed many Stanley Cup winning teams. The Canadiens won the most Stanley Cups with 24, and they witnessed a lot of them. And plus, many Canadians played famous in the Forum. Maurice Rocket Richard and Guy Lafleur and John Verbeau and Patrick Roy, among others. Number 1 on this list of the best hockey arenas of all time, the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, where the Boston Bruins played from 1928 through 1995. It was only 13,000 seat for hockey, but it was great views, and every fan was into the game, and they witnessed a lot of great moments. A few Stanley Cup winning teams, plus Bobby Orr and Ray Bourque and Cam Neely. Some awesome goals were scored in the Boston Garden. And that's about it on that. I'll be back later. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google Plus with 2 more video blogs. One will be about the classic TV game show Wordplay, which lasted 9 months on NBC, and the third and final video plug of the night will be about MBTA Bus Route 97 from Wellington Station to Malden Station. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Bunning guy. Molly was blood. WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth That's so stunning. She's the best. Amy Swensy's awesome. And in the words of former professional wrestler Baron von Raschke, that is all you need to know. Bye now.